What's going on, YouTube? This is Dave.
And Nikki.
And we're back again with another reaction video. This is from Kendra G. Let's get going.
I'm not driving. No.
Who's driving?
I told you I'm not the driver.
Who's the driver?
Stop being nosy, Kendra. We is on live. You not gonna do that. Who, child? No.
Is it a guy or a girl?
It is a guy.
Is it a guy you want slept with?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Did you ever sleep with her?
We've been friends for over how many years? We've been friends? Don't lie. Over 10 years. Good friends.
He like you.
Yeah, he loves me. He do.
He would date you if you would date him.
I mean, yes, I'm not gonna lie. We've been out. We do date. It's just we're not serious, and he knows that.
Wait, so you with a So you're with a guy.
Didn't I tell you when we was out at the day? I said I've been trying to get on Kendra for months. And I said that.
Krista, you on a date on my show looking for a new man?
You join me. This is like something. It's like winning a lottery to get on your show, girl.
I understand that, but the whole point is to find a man, and you got a man right by your side.
But at the same token, that what's understood is already explained. We just had this conversation. That's one thing about communication and honesty. You got to be real. You got to be honest. That's why a lot of people in situations they in now, because people don't know how to be honest and be real.
I'm going to let it alone. But, boyfriend, you come on my show after I hook you up with somebody, too.
Huh?
I said for him to come on my show after, I'm going to hook him up with somebody, too.
That's fine, because even in the midst of us knowing each other for 10 years, he been married, divorced, had a child, everything. So, child?
So what's wrong with this man? Why can't you settle down with him? What are you looking for?
We just said this early. It's been 10 plus years. What's wrong, sir? Now, we is on Kendra. We is on Instagram Live. You is on. You tell what the world. I want to know.
What he say?
Oh my God, Kendra, this was not the way the show was supposed to go, boo. But happy belated birthday to you too.
Let's keep going. Listen, the show always goes the way God wants it to go, and this is how God wants it to go. So let me ask you this: would you be with him if he was ready to settle down?
Yes, if he do. I tell him, come on, Kendra, I learn from you as well. I listen and I learn. It don't take a man forever to know if he want to be with a woman. You get what I'm saying? He know I'm a good mother. I'm a hard-working lady. I got my own. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? I did. When he first met me, I was struggling. I'm not going to sit here and cap on y'all on this app to act like I always had it together. I have not. And he been there every step of the way. You get what I'm saying? I've been engaged to somebody else. Things didn't work out. He married somebody else. Things didn't work out. We don't know what the future may hold. But right now, we don't have that title like that. We don't have that.
Okay, so fair enough. So it's on him. So you're right. We about to make you boot up because he ain't locking down this good woman. We about to get you locked down, Crystal. How about that? Let's continue.
So what are your thoughts on that?
In that short little clip, she said a lot. One of the things I noticed that she's you know how she's on a date. Yeah. The first time when I listened to this, she was, I didn't know that they were on a date together or they've been dating, because she said they were friends for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. And now she got on the show and he's in the car. That's the first thing I noticed. Yeah. So, you know, when Kendra said like, oh, would he date you? Would you guys date or something to that effect? And she's like, yeah, I love him. He loves me. But if that is true, why would she be doing this in front of him? It's like, that's what clicked in my mind. Maybe she wants him to be jealous a little bit. Like, I'm looking for somebody. Yeah. You know, she's doing this because she could have did this in the privacy of her home, even though she's been trying to get on it. Yeah. If I was with somebody, I wouldn't get on a live looking for somebody in front of your face. That's like disrespectful. Or you want the person to be jealous. So maybe he doesn't really, you know, he's comfortable in the situation. He doesn't really want her alone. What do you think?
I mean, that sounds about right. It sounds like, because we kind of skipped over the part where, you know, she lists her preferences and stuff like that. Normal, like, you know, she doesn't want a man She wants
I
it
love
doesn't
you,
it doesn't.
man.
Oh yeah, there we go. She doesn't want a man that makes a lot of money because just as long as he can take care of himself, she doesn't
I'm
care if he
rich
has
height.
exactly. She doesn't care if he has kids because she has kids. So those
Mm-hmm.
are all normal. But then she goes to the part where she talks about her somebody else in the car and everything like that. I'm just like, hold on, wait a minute. Because to me, it sounds like it's a sneaky leak type thing. Because even though they're not like having like sex, they're
We don't know that.
yeah. Well, she did kind of say that they're not having sex. Like
She
she
didn't.
mentioned that.
She spoke over him.
Yeah, that's true.
Like she didn't give him the opportunity. Like whenever, like I was trying to listen closely to what because he was saying something.
Yeah.
When she was like, "Weren't we? What? Didn't we just talk about it?" That is like you can't hear exactly what he's saying.
Because you can kind of hear his voice in the background a little bit if you listen closely. Because I'm like, wait a minute, he's still talking. He was like, you know what, Kendra? Like he's still trying to say something, and she's going and talking over him. So it seems like, again, like she has realistic expectations. However, the situation just seems a little bit like she's definitely wanting more from that relationship with him, and she's not getting it because she clearly stated to Kendra that if he asked her, she would definitely say yes.
But so do you think they're like in a friend zone type of situation?
I don't think friends are. I think it's more of a sneaky link
You say
because
sneakily
okay, so
or side piece.
there we go, something like that. Because I think it's more than just friend zone. Because friend zone to me means that you're having someone there. Basically, they're not getting anything from the relationship, but you are. And clearly, to me, it seems like they're both getting something out of the relationship. And I think it's companionship and possibly sex. We don't know, but companionship definitely because she wants him, and she say quote unquote that he wants her because they were just talking about it before, but we don't know.
Do you think men and women can be friends?
Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, so my thoughts on men and women being friends. I think that it's possible. However, there needs to be communication and barriers. Because if I'm gonna have a if I'm gonna be if I'm gonna have a female friend, she's gonna know, hey, you have to respect you have to respect my spouse. You have to respect my time.
You're saying it on behalf of you. I'm just saying in general. Can men and women be friends?
Yeah, I think they can be. It's just like I said, just needs to be clear boundaries because and the boundaries need to be set based on not that person's boundaries, but the person that they're with boundaries. For instance, my boundaries are different than yours. So if I was to say, hey, I'm comfortable with someone calling, like my friend that's a girl calling me at 8 o'clock at night, but you're like, hey, I think that's a little bit too late. I think that's a time where we need to be spending together. That's a whole nother situation. So she has to respect your boundaries, not necessarily mine.
But if it's your friend or the male's friend,
Uh,
he has to say it.
he has to clarify that.
Yeah, he can have a
Communicate that.
relation. Can have a communication with his partner and come up with a general consensus of what your boundaries are, and then communicate that to the friend and say, "Hey, listen, this is my expectations."
Exactly.
Instead of saying, I that is a good point. I don't like when people like in any relationship where they're like, I can't talk to you because the other person says so. Like it has to be your decision as well as an adult.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? Instead of like if I had a male friend and I'm gonna be like, I can't talk to you because Dave said so. It should be like I can't talk to you. The end.
That's true. That's true.
Because you're making it seem like I want to talk to you, but
Yeah,
because of this
exactly,
other person,
exactly.
so you have to just have that too. But I think male and female can be friends. So in their situation, I feel like they can be friends with each other. And if they've known, the history, they've known each other for 10 years, and he's been with somebody else, she's been with somebody else. Why didn't in those 10 years either one of them say, let us go on a real date and see where it goes?
It seems like to me they have. Seems like
Well, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And so they
need to let it go or
but
something.
they can still hang out to each other, I think sometimes people want attention. Like she probably get that attention, company, companionship, and he probably have the same thing, or they probably, as you said, have friends with benefits or something. But this is a difficult situation for the other partner to come in, because you notice both of them had other people, and then they're divorced or they were engaged and she broke up. So this is kind of difficult because it's like, this is my best friend, but it's not. Yeah. It's like something else going on. So it's be difficult as the third person getting into it. So that would be like, if I was a guy, that would be my red flag. Yeah. Getting into something where you have this super best friend that you can't disconnect from and you hang out all the time. Yeah. Where's the boundaries? Yeah, because you definitely have to make those things. That's why I don't agree with those kind of relationships, because they become problems later on for the other party. Exactly. So, what's your final takeaway?
My final takeaway, I would have to say, is to just communicate what your needs and wants are. So, what about you?
So, my final takeaway is just set boundaries. Really, in any relationship you should have boundaries that you set up. Definitely communicate what you want, and it's okay for men and women to be friends.
And I don't agree with sneaky links and friend zone situations if you're trying to have a serious relationship later on, because it becomes problematic.
And difficult to cut off.
Yes, very.
And that's why, not to get too deep, because this is the last thing. This is where like all the soul ties, if you believe in that type of stuff, because you have just such a connection with this other person, and no matter if you're in another relationship, you can't cut it off. So she should be cautious of that too.
All right. If you like this kind of content, then just let us know, and have a good one.
Like, comment, sharing, subscribe.
All right. Have a good one. For more content like this, like and subscribe.
Subscribe.